Hey everybody. So going into tomorrow, what do we see? SPY. 2 day up. So we prefer the 2 back down simply because you're not going to be a 2 up week. So if we take longs, are we buying into a 2 up week? We're not. And price will trade in the direction of the most 2s and 2s going 3. So if we don't have a 2 up week, all we would have is a 2 up day. And we'd have a 2 down month against us. So that's a losing position. We'd prefer not to take that. But they did reverse, so we'll see if they try and come back or not. It's just going to be a chop shop. Qs inside days. So we'd prefer the rev strat or the breakdown inside down because that'd take last week's lows. And when inside bars break in one direction during a higher time frame inside bar that's forming, what normally happens is it tries to rev strat. So even if this breaks up tomorrow, you don't have much magnitude until you take this stuff out. And then potentially those monthly sellers come back and start slapping it again. So we'll just want to be aware of that. Dow Jones, you have the 2 up triangle layout. 3, so they bought up, they sold down. They sold down, poking slight lower. They poked up again, slight higher highs. So they bought down, they sold up. Or they sold down, they bought up. Now, can we get a 2-2 on a Tuesday below that? That would be a good thing. If it goes up again tomorrow, then you would have a 2-2 week in force. So you'd at least have a 2 on the week there. Nowhere near a 2 up month or flipping this month at all, though. IWM. 2 day, these 2 bars go outside of that. So the question is, how are you getting out of this inside week? And you're still a month in force, so this is considered corrective until that changes. Outside of that, inside day list is just packed, absolutely packed. So tomorrow, we're just going to be looking for simultaneous breaks. What I'm going to scan for in the morning is who's inside up, who's inside down, and I'm going to do that by sector. So today, we can go and take a look. This is my nightly scan showing the inside days. You got some energies, PAA, could take the inside day and confirm the week with the energies taking the stuff up. You also have ET, which could take the day into the week, confirming some energies up. And WES, not one I normally trade, but similar trade there. So some simultaneous breaks there potentially to get the energies going. And then I'm not going to go through all of these, but you have a good chunk of industrials, which we normally are not trading much of those, but you have some potential PMGs in those if you want to take a look. And if we scroll down, consumer discretionary, you got the whole sector list doing it. You got a ton of healthcares, a lot of names we normally trade in there in healthcares. And then look at the info text. So all of Q's is inside for the most part. So this will either confirm the market trend recover today or negate it. And we obviously prefer it to negate and take all those 2-2s on a Tuesday to the downside. So specifically what I'm going to keep an eye on tomorrow is the semis that we normally trade, so like NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD, ARM's been pretty volatile, ASML, LRCX, all that type of fun stuff. And then there's also a good chunk in the real estate. So we got potential simultaneous breaks across everything. The question is most of this list 2 up or 2 down tomorrow? Because that's going to tell us where things are going. And I'll show you, this is what we're looking at in the morning. So if I slide my screen over a little bit here, you'll see. So we're looking at inside up Qs, inside down Qs, inside up SPY, inside down SPY. So if we load this up from today, what I scan for is just where is the simultaneous break. So we can see today consumer discretionary had some of that stuff happening. In the Qs, not much is going to the downside. In the industrials, inside up in the Qs, you got a few things up. So that's what's telling me that. And it looks like ODFL went 3. If we go to inside down SPY, you can see some energies did that but closed higher, creating some potential rev strats. Yeah, it's like MPC is a 1-3 day. PSX is a 1-3 day back through previous range. So those are 2 things you can also take a look at. And then there's some materials in here. ALB created a rev strat day. And then NUE, a big ol' outside bar. And then some discretionary, some infotech. Since most things didn't go today and you see all the inside days, these lists will be very obvious tomorrow. Similar to how this consumer discretionary looks here. This is also what the staples looked like when all the staples started recovering on Tuesday last week. So that's what we're going to be looking for there. As far as 2-2s go, what I want to know about is simply the Dow Jones. Does that 2-2 PMG back down or not? And since we already know from the intraday vid utilities, that's still a buy. You had the 2-2 week add to get more long after last week's buys. Financials, you had the 2-2 week hammer go up. Did some triangle out action at the close. So we'll see. Does it go 2 up again tomorrow? And you're going to have Citigroup in there closing strong, 2-2 week. Goldman Sachs closing very strong inside week and up. And you'll have Bank of America closing as a hammer week and up as well. You will have JP Morgan Also closing very strong at the highs with the Rev Strat 60 for tomorrow morning. So those are all things that we're looking for. Personally, I got some JP Morgan on the weekly break, and they're up nicely. So we'll see if that keeps going. It's got a lot of range to go and recover and take over the world, as they say. Outside of that, we also had the XLP. You can see very nice 2-2. What did we see today? Coca-Cola still confirming what happened last week with simultaneous breaks on the 60s this morning. Where you can see Coke inside 60. If you go to Pepsi was not a simultaneous break, but also nice little inside 60s. And what Pepsi did is last week Friday, we mentioned this here on the 60, the inside bar. So they broke. They never reversed until right here after hitting new high exhaustion risk, and then still a 3-2 week up just at exhaustion risk. And I'm not going to go through all the staples names. We've already done that more than enough times. You can look back at previous vids, such as last week's Turnaround Tuesday video, Monday night. And you can also check the intraday vid we posted this Monday and the other videos from last week. So nothing too much I want to add here besides that. Gold did break down to start the week, but that could recover. It looks like it's gapping lower. So for now, 2 down and then maybe another 2 down tomorrow. That's something we'll want to know about because that changes what we know. And that's a reversal. Inside week down below that. So that would have caused you to do profit taking today if you saw it. Silver, same thing, inside down. But we'd like to see the rev strat, right? We want to see that recovery. We're just not seeing it yet. We need a 2-2 day minimum to try and see that happen. And then same thing would apply to the miners then. WPM still inside, so that's fine. GDX, that's closer to 2 down with the shooter day. JNUG, that is shooter day, 2 down week. So it's about to negate the month. That would be an issue. And these are leveraged. So since they're leveraged, when they're done, if they're done, they're done. Now that they've made the new highs on the month, if the gold starts going sideways, these go back down. So that's something you want to know about. And you can trade it the other way. They had the 2-2 last week, did not reverse it this week, so now 2 down again. That's telling you to get out if you're holding runners in this stuff. And then if it comes back, get back in with the profit you already took from them, right? So nuggets, you'll see similar things with the gold stuff. So those can be shorts with Momo shooters tomorrow. That's something we can also look for. But that's going to be about it from me tonight. I'll try and get a video out tomorrow intraday or even hopefully closer to the morning after the daily breaks go to help you guys out. But that'll be about it. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for those in stat. And if you're not, then I'll see you guys in tomorrow's intraday or nightly vid.